everybody, and welcome to the Facilitators Roundtable. Now, I could not be more excited about tonight. Why? Because I have opportunity to interact with you guys. So listen, let's make this amazing. Let's make this wonderful. I would love it if you would share this opportunity with someone. Now, I know you know someone who they speak professionally. They're a trainer. They're a motivational speaker. Maybe they do lives often, or perhaps they would like to. Right? Perhaps they would like to. Now, I'm sure you've heard what I've heard, and that's public speaking for a lot of people is akin to death in terms of its fear. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. So let's help people get over that fear. We'll get started in just a moment. Calling all trainers, facilitators, public speakers are those who want to be. It's your time. It's your turn. I'm calling you, Elisa Sample Alexander. Where? To the round table. Gather around. Let's share and grow. Facilitators, it's your show. Tips and tools will pave the way. Empowering minds every day at the round table. We ignite. Learning sparks. Futures bright. Stand tall. Take the lead. Together, we succeed. A place for tips where we thrive. Helping each other, we come alive. Connect, inspire, take a stand. You can do it. Lead the band at the round table. We ignite. Learning sparks. Futures bright. Stand tall. Take the lead. Together, we succeed. A place for tips where we thrive. Helping each other, we come alive. Connect, inspire, take a stand. You can do it. Lead the band at the round table. We ignite. Learning sparks. Futures bright. Stand tall. Take the lead. Together, we succeed at the round table. Welcome to the round table with Elisa Sample Alexander. Hey everybody, well, welcome to the round table. I sure hope that you'll share this because tonight we have an amazing speaker. Now, if you've been with me for a moment, you know that we started last night and I was so excited. You know, there's nothing like starting something. You know, anyone can have an idea, but you've got to start, right? And you have to start somewhere. So this is our beginning. And in fact, I felt like I got a confirmation for what we focused on last night when I was on LinkedIn today. So what was last night's tip? Last night's tip was it is so important when you're presenting, when you're speaking, when you're sharing to not be on stage. Now, I know that sounds like a contradiction. Like we're on stage, right? We're always on stage. Not really. If you remember my sage advice from my mentor last night, Sean Hopkins, it was simply this: strive to be the guide on the side, not the sage on the stage. That in and of itself is a tip that will take you far. Are you looking to improve your skills? That's what the Facilitators Roundtable is all about, right? The Facilitators Roundtable is about making sure that those of us who present, and these days, that really is everyone. If you've ever stood up and just had to give your introduction, there are some tips that we're going to share in this space that are going to make you more successful at doing so. So I really want, when you see those notifications go up, come on and join me. And then if you would if you're with me on YouTube, like it, subscribe, so that anytime we're on, you can be on with us. And then not only that, if you're joining me on LinkedIn and we're not connected, I would love for us to get connected. Who knows? You might be my very next guest. Well, let's get back to last night. Last night, the focus was use questions. Right? Use questions, slow down, strive to be, again, the guide on the side, not the sage on the stage, in order to be your most powerful, most impactful self. Something else that I mentioned to you is that when you do that, especially if you struggle with nervousness, one of the great advantages of interaction is honestly, it gives you a moment to go backstage. Even though you're in front of people, you're not the focus of attention. Even if your questions are rhetorical, find a way to get your audience involved. Why? If for no other reason than this, they are more likely to retain the information. And as I mentioned before, That's what it's all about, right? All of this presenting is about making sure that our audience walks away with something. I want them to be impressed with us. But more important than being impressed is remembering whatever those key points were, whatever the talking points were, and bringing that information into their lives or into their worlds of work. Well, I'm so excited tonight because I have, as I promised you, a guest. And again, I'm calling on you guys. I would love to have as many guests as we can fit in at the round table. Come in closer, because this is a space of collaboration. It's an opportunity for us to share ideas. And so, for our very first guest, our inaugural guest, I have someone so very, very special. I can't wait to introduce her to her. So, introduce her to you. So, why don't we do that now? Kaye Flewellen, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Lisa. Hey, I'm here. I'm here.
That's right. Kaye,
Thank you
thank
for
you so
having me,
much.
Lee. Thank
Oh,
you for having me.
absolutely. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Oh,
It's an opportunity. This space, as I mentioned, is an opportunity for us to share. And you and I have been doing that for years and years. You know, there's a
mhm.
scripture in the Bible that says that iron sharpens iron. And that's really what I see the round table as being. It's an
Yes.
opportunity for all of us to sharpen each other and to get better at this thing called public speaking, motivational speaking, training, teaching, or facilitating. All right, Kate, let me give you an opportunity. As I mentioned earlier, let me get off stage, right? And I want to give you an opportunity just to say hello to everyone. Feel free.
Well, hi, my name is Kaye Flewellen, and I am a hairstylist. So I come from a family of hairstylists. I've spent my entire career in the beauty industry, and today I am a speaker. I'm a TED Talk speaker, and what I do primarily is kind of use my personal experiences from in the salon, behind the chair, my interaction with people, to talk to others to help them be more passionate and productive in life. I really am a confidence coach. I help people kind of get the confidence to do the things that they've always wanted to do. And so I do that by sharing stories and things that I have learned from behind the chair.
I love that, Kay. I couldn't love it more. All of us know that those persons that help us be our best selves, those persons who are behind the chair, often they are our confidants. They know our secrets.
Absolutely.
I remember
Absolutely.
you even saying one time that you can tell when you're doing someone's hair kind of what medications they're on just because of the feel, right? The feel of the hair,
Hmm.
even the smell of the hair. So this
Hmm.
is an intimate relationship. So if anybody knows people, it's Kaye Flewellen. Now I have to let you guys know that Kaye Flewellen is a hairstylist, but not just a hairstylist. She's an entrepreneur. She's an entrepreneur, and in fact, her mother started and she maintains it today, one of the oldest salons in the state of Texas. Isn't that right, Kay?
It's actually the oldest, the longest continuously running salon in the DFW Metroplex.
What an honor. What an honor. And your mother was an icon, and so are you. So you're an author as well. Why don't you talk about your books?
Well, my freshman book is a main attraction, which is a guide to just, I call it the Bible for hair care. It is just everything you need to know about how to maintain healthy hair. The second book that I wrote was called uh, Greatness Unleashed. And so
Yes.
it's really unleashed to greatness. It's about just kind of, it was just a 30-day devotional that talked about just kind of how all of us are called to greatness. And here are things to just focus on for the next 30 days to help you get to the place of greatness that you know that you are called to.
Absolutely. So you're a hairstylist, you're an entrepreneur, you're an author. And for the purposes of this opportunity, I know we can't wait to hear about you being a TED Talk speaker. How did that happen? Give us just a little bit on that. I'm sure
Well,
we
you
want that
know,
insight.
honestly, I think it's about manifesting. Prior to going into the pandemic, it was interesting because I was just so committed that I was going to do a TED talk. So that January, I think that was 2020, I went to a vision board, and in this vision boarding, I wrote that I was going to do a TED talk. I literally did a whole vision board, And then I put across the top of the vision board TED Talk. I put a picture of myself. I put a picture of a microphone. And I think maybe two, three pictures at the bottom of just me having been on the stage.
Wow.
That was
Wow.
the extent. And so in the vision board class, it was kind of like, you kind of cheated. You really didn't do much. And I was like, that's just, I'm so committed to that. So I was like filling out applications online and sending videos regularly. I had got one call, one response. And then the world shut down. And once
Right.
the world shut down, well, obviously, no TED Talk.
No TED Talk.
Um, but coming out of the lockdown, one of my friends started hosting an event called it was a speaking event.
Yes.
And so anyway, she asked me to be a speaker on this event, and it was kind of like a ladies tech talk. And so I was a speaker, and I invited a friend of mine. The friend of mine came, and he was coming from like a business meeting, and he remembered, oh, I promised Kay that I was coming to hear her. So he bought this guy with him to the TED Talk. When he came, the guy heard me speak, and the guy was like, man, she sounds like she's a TED Talk speaker.
Wow.
And so he was like, I know she's been talking about that, and that's something she wants to do. So the gentleman that was with him said, well, I know a guy that went to college with me that works for like TED, the company. And he was like, why don't I
Right.
call him and tell him? And that's kind of, he made a phone call. And literally the next day, I was on the phone with someone who was basically asking me, would you like to do a TED talk in 2 weeks?
Right. Wow. In 2 weeks.
And two
Oh,
weeks.
oh my goodness. And you had that amazing, amazing experience. And I know you grew from it. I'm sure we'll have to have you back on the show so we can take that apart, really dissect that even more. But I love that. I love that you are so multifaceted. And I think that in itself is a tip, that when we're sharing, we have to have something to draw from. And so when you
Hmm.
share, you draw on your experiences as a hairstylist, as an entrepreneur, right? As an author, as a daughter, right? Of this
Yes.
amazing woman, this amazing icon, and now as a TED Talk speaker. Okay, I
Correct.
wanted you to come so that you could share a tip, right?
Mhm.
This is a space, and I heard that even when you were sharing about the TED Talk experience and getting you to the stage, that getting you to the stage required networking. Right, it
Yes.
required I was mentoring a young lady today and was like, who outside of this building are you connected to? Right? Are you making connections? Are you
Hmm.
getting to know people outside of this narrow space? And so because you stretched,
Hmm.
right, because you stretched, it opened doors. Well, I know that there's so much for you to share, right? You've already shared a lesson, I think, for us, even in that, just in that story. But let's hear your big tip, Kay. Let's hear your big tip. So when you're talking to, I was even thinking, if you're talking to preachers, if you're talking to teachers, if you're talking to public speakers, if you're talking to motivational speakers, if you're talking to facilitators, we're at the round table now. Give us the
Hmm.
tip, Kay.
I think the tip that I would share, again, I say it's a confidence coach. I think that you pull from where you have been. I will share a quick story and I'll explain what I'm talking about. I was asked once, I was introduced to in a setting, and I was asked to do some work around HIV awareness. Now, at the time, I was terribly intimidated about HIV awareness because I had never done that. But I was very comfortable with the space of the chair and how powerful the chair was. So as a result, my confidence came from what I had done before and understanding how much command I had in that chair. I would say that if you are going to be a great speaker, think about where you have been, think about the space that you are an expert, and develop an unshakable confidence in that you do. And once you have developed that unshakable confidence, I think it then makes you an authority on the stage, an authority when you facilitate. You then become the expert around that arena.
Awesome. And let me tell you what I love about that. I think you're helping us understand the value in not just the slam and haircut, the value in not just the beautifully, for those of us who wear makeup, having that beautifully applied, the value in not just the slam and outfit, but the one thing you can't forget is your confidence. And you
Absolutely.
represented it as unshakable confidence, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, dig into
Unshakable.
that just a little bit more. So it's
So again,
confidence, but it's unshakable confidence.
So again, the partnerships, and now I have been able to build tons of partnerships. And it's funny because I always saw myself as so much more than a hairstylist. So sometimes I don't even like to use the terminology hairstylist because I've always seen myself as so much more. And so now I've been able to create partnerships in medical space. I've been able to create partnerships in business spaces,
Right,
spaces that you would think would have no, in political spaces, you would think that those spaces have absolutely no connection with the hair salon. But the one connection is all of those people are looking for someone who is very comfortable becoming intimate and personal with the community.
right,
That's what I do on a daily basis. And while I may not be familiar with, for example, I was terribly unfamiliar with or uncomfortable with the ideal of speaking about HIV awareness. I had no medical degree. That was a great learning curve for me. But
right,
what I
right,
did know is that I had power being able to speak to ladies. They had a specific demographics that the Centers for the Disease Control was looking to reach. I knew that I had a skill set at being able to reach them and talk to them on an intimate level and have a conversation with them that the average person could not have. And so
right,
while
right,
I was uncomfortable with the subject matter, I was very comfortable and confident in my ability to speak passionately, intimately, and directly to the person that's in my space. And so just having that unshakable confidence about the power of my chair. So my question again to your viewers would be to think of the thing that you know that you have mastered. All of us have one area that we have mastered. I
right,
have mastered the art of managing my chair. I have mastered the art of speaking directly to, touching on an intimate level, the people who are in my chair. I have expanded that now beyond my chair, but those sets that I learned from just seemed like routine interactions behind the
right,
chair, I have since learned that though that's a skill set that the world is looking for. And
right.
now I have an unshakable confidence in my ability to touch, speak, and communicate. And while it may not be the exact same way, space, whatever, I'm able to do it in a way that most people cannot. And I'm able to connect immediately as a result of my lifelong space behind the chair.
That's right. And so that space, that sacred space, those intimate relationships, they gave you the confidence, they gave you the courage to branch out, to reach out. So, you guys, if there's anybody out there and you're wondering, can I really do this? What I'm hearing from Kay tonight is that there is something that we're all good at and that we
Absolutely.
can borrow from one strength and apply it to the strength of public speaking, training, teaching, preaching, communicating more effectively so that we become the best facilitators that we can possibly be, engaging our audiences and increasing their confidence, right? Helping them get that unshakable confidence that Kay is talking about. Kay, thank you for that powerful tip. I think that's so, so important. Any last thought you want to share? If so, feel free to share it. And
I
then
think
once you've done that, let the people know how to find you.
Okay, and I would say, Lisa, the last thing I would say is I said that I did hair, but it wasn't always just hair. It was the skill sets that I learned while doing hair. So for
Right,
some of you, don't focus simply on the thing that you label yourself as. Think
right.
about the individual skill sets that you learned along the
The
way in
way.
earning that particular label. So that's what I would say. That you can be an expert, even if it's for myself, not just doing hair. I'm an expert at building relationships and talking and communicating.
Right.
So that's what I do. You can find me, Lisa. I'm on all social media platforms. My name is on the screen here, Kaye Flewellen. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. LinkedIn. You can find me on any of those platforms. You can reach out to me. I'm actually having the website redone, but it's kayflewellen.com. But until we finish that, just find me on any one of my social media platforms.
Right.
And I'm pretty interactive on social media. So reach out to me and I will be happy to engage you, see you, come speak for you, any of those things.
I love it, Kaye. Thank you so very much. Kaye, you are absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for being our very first guest at the Facilitators Roundtable. I could not be more thrilled. I could not be more excited. Kaye Flewellen is a force. She is a treasure. So I encourage you guys, I encourage you to get in touch. Remember, this is not just about skill building. This is also about networking. And I want to do a good job of introducing you guys to people that you are going to want to connect with. One of my skills, I believe, is not just facilitation, but it's also being a connector of people. And so I can't wait to introduce you to some more powerful people. Remember, last night we talked about not being the sage on the stage all the time, but getting backstage in our personas so that we can bring out the best in others. And then Kaye tonight brought it home. That was so powerful, teaching us more about unshakable confidence. Thank you so much for joining me, you guys. As I mentioned to you before, if you want more tips, if you want more information personalized to you one-on-one, my job as a coach, as a presentation skills coach, as a speech coach is to help you get that unshakable confidence. And I love to do my job. So feel free to get in contact with me in the comment section, in the DMs, on Messenger, Facebook, any of my social media outlets. I can't wait to hear from you. Okay, again, join us the next time. Pay attention to those notifications. I can't wait to see you at the roundtable. Calling all trainers, facilitators, public speakers, are those who want to be. It's your time. It's your turn. I'm calling you, Alisa Sample Alexander. Where? To the roundtable. Gather around. Let's share and grow. Facilitators, it's your show. Tips and tools will pave the way. Empowering minds every day at the roundtable. We ignite. Learning sparks. Futures bright. Stand tall. Take the lead. Together, we succeed. A place for tips where we thrive, helping each other. We come alive, connect, inspire, take a stand. You can do it. Lead the band at the round table. We ignite, learning sparks, futures bright. Stand tall, take the lead. Together, we succeed. A place for tips where we thrive, helping each other. We come alive, connect, inspire, take a stand. You can do it. Lead the band at the round table. We ignite, learning sparks, futures bright. Stand tall, take the lead. Together, we succeed at the round table. Welcome to the round table with Alisa Sample Alexander.